J Coffee on the vid, tapping in live for what I like to call the Coffee Talk podcast. Just hitting on some topics I wanted to cover. New viewers, I like to do this live thing. You know what I mean? We open up the phone lines and stuff. I don't know if we're gonna do that right now. I like to normally do that on the late night streams, but it is what it is. It's daytime. Here we go. Some things I wanted to cover real quick, right? So first thing is as is message to Jay Coffee Talk. And I'm gonna speak a little bit on this, but first let's pull up the message, man. He said, Jay Coffee Talk on YouTube. Salute, bro. I just want to say great job. Some of these influencers who are quick to call rappers clout chasers actually do the most clout chasing. LOL. Thank you for bringing integrity back into hip hop. And check it out, man. I suppose so. Let me gather my thoughts, right? So since I've been covering this situation, right, I know a lot of people are going in on Azizz. We know Eminem is like crazy levels of success. He has huge, huge fan base. And let me make it clear too. I am an Eminem fan. I like Eminem. I rock with Eminem. I love hip hop. I love a lot of hip hop artists' work. You know what I mean? And what I basically said since I started covering this, right, is I'm not like clout chaser is a term that just gets thrown around so loosely. You know what I mean? Like clout chasing, like in a sense, you can say everyone's clout chasing, I guess. You know what I mean? To what, like, trying to get their name out there and things like that. Some people go to different lengths to do it. It is what it is. You know what I mean? But with as is, if you guys who really been watching, right? I've been this interested me so much because, like I said, I'm a huge Eminem fan, dating back to when I was really growing up, really listening to hip hop, right? The Outsidaz were someone who I like, got into listening to their music. You know what I mean? I explained it in one of my earlier videos, right? That I really, really like Redman, and Redman and Eminem have a real good rapport. But I really rock with Redman. And, through listening to Redman, I became aware of the Outsidaz. And I seen them on other people's music too, you know what I mean? But Redman was like really how I got into anything coming out of Brick City. And it always interested me, like I said, because Eminem collaborated with them. You know what I mean? On Slim Shady LP, he was shouting them out. Hard body karate, right? And then as the years went on, same thing like Royce the 5'9". I talked about that in a video recently. On a Slim Shady LP, you had the song Bad Meets Evil, Eminem and Royce the 5'9". And at the end they said see you in hell for the sequel. And then different things transpired. You know what I mean? Dre, like Royce almost signed with Dre, he didn't. There was the beef with D12. Em and Royce kind of didn't talk for a while, and a lot of time passed. And then, we seen that come together years later. You know what I mean? And the Outsidaz were someone, like, I'm just kind of going back over everything. The Outsidaz were kind of someone that, like I said, I always wondered what exactly happened. Why didn't we see more of them? You know what I mean? And like I always say on this channel, I like to lay out my take, my opinion, my thoughts, and hear what everyone's got to say. You know what I mean? And this just intrigued me very much so because it's like hip hop history dating back, it is what it is. Like I was saying in one of my earlier videos last night, Azizz is kind of playing the villain right now, right? Like a lot of people are mad at him. They're not rocking with him. It just is what it is. It's a story I've been following, and now we kind of seen Young Z come into the fold, and Doggy Diamonds was asking him, what happened when you guys were on tour. I don't know. It's interesting to me. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. In a degree, everyone's clout chasing. Um, I don't know. Just wanted to lay that out there, guys. You guys let me know what you think about it. And like I've been sharing with you guys too, since I've been covering this story, I've got hit up by other people who are tapped in with the Outsidaz, who are fans of the Outsidaz, who came up with them. You know what I mean? and they're like, "Yo, Jay, listen to this song. You know what I mean? Listen to this Outsider song. Listen to this song. Rest in peace to Slang Ton, who, a lot of people were like, "Yo, you got to hear Slang and M on this," and you know what I mean? It is what it is. It's an interesting story. We're gonna continue to cover it. I don't know, y'all. Let me know what you think about that. But moving along to the next story. Um, like I said, though, real quick before I go, guys, I always just give my take, my opinion on things, and it is what it is. Y'all, let me know what you think. Let's move along, though. I wanted to share something with you guys regarding the stock market craziness going on right now with GameStop. All right, so I'm back. I'm back. Right now, let's pull this up. Um, Interesting thread. This guy that really knows his stuff shared this. So I don't know if you guys heard about this. Right now, everyone's trying to buy GameStop stock. If you guys have knowledge of this stuff, let me know your thoughts on this. Is it too late to really get in on this and get to that bag? I'm not gonna lie. I know a little bit about the stock market, but I'm trying to learn more. You know what I mean? I'm trying to learn something every day. And once again, and this is something that I always say on this channel, I don't claim to be an expert. Like I just said about the whole Azizz Eminem Outsidaz thing. You know, um, I lay out my take, my thoughts, and I want to hear your guys. You know what I mean? But check this out. This is interesting to me, man. Where is it? Here we go. So check this out. This dude laid this whole thing out. This is regarding what's going on with GameStop. And basically, some guys try to pull a quick one, and it's coming back to bite him in the ass. So this dude says, okay, since a lot of people seem confused, I'll explain what's going on with GME. Brace yourselves. This is going to be a long thread. This is a once in a lifetime historical event. It's insane. At least one hedge fund has gone bankrupt. That's to a group of thanks to a group of average Joes on Reddit. By the end of the week, there will be a line of bankruptcies. So let's start at the beginning. So that's what's really cool about this too is regular this individual laying this thread out here said this is some average joes on Reddit. You know what I mean? That's what's so beautiful about the internet. I always got to put that out there too, whether we're talking about hip hop or sports or in this case these individuals on Reddit, stock market. You know what I mean? Like people tap in, they talk with each other, you can build on things, and they kind of like crack the code here. So um this is a picture of the Reddit thread. But this check it out. So this is what happened. Stocks are pretty simple. When they go up in value. You make money because it's worth more than you bought it for. Stocks goes up, you make money. Stock goes down, you lose money. Short selling is the opposite. Short selling makes money when the stock goes down in value. So they got this little diagram here. Step one, short selling, lender, borrowing, short seller. You know what I mean? I'm just visualize that for a second. I ain't gonna break all that down. You see, not commented here saying, "Isn't this?" And guys, make sure to follow me on Twitter. Follow me on the gram as well. I'll put, "Isn't the movie The Big Short kind of like what you're talking about here?" And this individual said, "Yeah, except in the movie they're short selling. They except in the movie they short the housing market because they rightly saw that it was overvalued and almost collapsing and made money with the shorts. Now it's the shorts that are losing money." So if anyone's seen that movie, The Big Short, very, very interesting movie. Who's in it? Steve Carell, Christian Bale, and it's about some crazy mathematician savant who would just he was one of those people that are so smart on a genius level where their brain is like some supercomputer to where it's hard for them to talk to everyday average people. You know what I mean? And dude would just sit in a room going over math equations and algorithms in the stock market, and he realized that the housing market was going to collapse and it was thanks to a lot of people down in Florida, a lot of banks giving out mortgage loans to people, that couldn't qualify for them. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. So this is like what's going on with GameStop is like that, but the opposite. You know what I mean? So let's continue. My bad. How do I get back? Okay, here we go. So my bad, y'all. I want to get back to this thread. Here we are. Okay, stocks are okay. My bad, you guys. Okay, so it says, so for example, Tim borrows Bob shares in GME, which is the GameStop stock, and sells them for $10. He pays Bob $1 to do this and promises to give all of Bob's shares back. Then, if the stock goes down $5, Tim buys the shares back at a cheaper price. So Tim's profit is 10 minus 5 minus 1, $4 profit. So that's where we start at. A hedge fund tried to force down the price of GameStop and short the stock. Oh, excuse me. It usually works fine. It's been done thousands of times with no problems. So they shorted the GameStop GME from 20 to 10 to 4. Their greed kept compounding. They kept doing it again and again for months, making billions of dollars and almost bankrupting this company. Shares and share price are used as collateral for loans and access to capital. So they shorted GameStop GME from 20 to 10 to 4. Their greed kept compound. Okay, my bad. They did it again and again for months, making billions of dollars, almost bankrupting the company. Enter Wall Street Bets, a trading investment subreddit. Someone noted that these hedge funds shorted 140% of all shares available. These hedge funds were so damn greedy, they borrowed more shares than actually existed. That's how arrogant and dumb they were. So I got a saying on the channel too. I always talk about how we got a thing in this country called good old American greed. You know what I mean? America, the land of capitalism. People love to come here from all over because they can go out and make money, try to pursue their dream. But, greed runs rampant in America, which makes the dollar, the almighty dollar, bigger than anything or any morals, and people get greedy and crazy things happen. And that's how a lot of corruption happens. But anyways, it says they borrowed 140% of all the available shares. It was literally impossible for them to buy them all back. So someone on Wall Street Bets realized this and told everyone. Now the rule with short selling is that all those shares that they borrow must be paid back. So these dudes on Reddit, in this Reddit, I gotta get a Reddit going. I use it a lot, but I gotta, I gotta start blogging on there and stuff. You know what I mean? But anyways, these Redditors figured it out, cracked the code, let everyone know, and now they're raising the price up. And these guys gotta, make up for all the greedy moves they were pulling, and they can't afford it. So it says, and so we reach our main story of how the hedge funds greed ruined them. Realizing that these hedge funds shorted GME by a ridiculous amount, these Redditors, once again, normal people like me and you, bought every share they could get their hands on, driving the price up like crazy. Why? Because these hedge funds eventually, within a few months, had to buy all those shares back at whatever price they could get them. They didn't have a choice. So, for example, if they borrowed 10 million shares and sold them for $10, they made 100 million in immediate profit. But eventually, they had to buy those million shares back. They didn't have a choice. That was the deal they made when they borrowed the shares. So these Redditors bought the shares, driving the price up, forcing these hedge funds to buy back at crazy prices. Yeah, the hedge funds sold and made 100 million, but now they had to spend 1.4798 billion getting those same shares back, a huge effing loss of 1.3798 billion. So eventually, the due date for when these hedge funds needed to return the borrowed share comes closer. And what do? They double down. They short more because they're sure that they can manipulate the stock enough to get it to crash, thereby saving themselves. And then you see this screenshot here. GameStop short seller down 30% this year gets $2.8 billion bailout from the firms of billionaire investors Steve Cohen and Ken Griffin. Fast forward a few days, every attempt to crash the stock fails. Everyone knows what they're trying to do, so people keep buying the stock. And with every additional bit of media attention, more and more people are buying the stock, destroying the greedy hedge fund in the process. Eventually, Melvin Capital, a multi-billion-dollar hedge fund, needs a bailout because it has lost so much money shorting GME. They borrowed billions of another hedge fund. That was Monday. The stock price was 76. Yesterday, the stock ended up at 147.98 for every share, up from $4. These hedge funds are still shorting the stock at 130% of available shares. That's how effing greedy these guys are. All those millions of shares still have to be paid back. So now the hedge funds are crying on literally every platform they can get their hands on. They want the government to stop trading. They want this Reddit forum investigated and banned. They're screaming market manipulation when in reality, these hedge funds were the ones manipulating the stock, but they got caught and are now trying to take their ball and go home. Ain't that what's crazy, man? Whenever people try to get on some scam type ish, when they get caught up, they're just so entitled. They can't never just take it. You know what I mean? They got to try to blame it on someone else or whine and cry or expect a bailout. Like, try being a poor average Joe. I see we got someone in here too. Hit that like for me. While these hedge funds are on every news channel screaming about Reddit and Wall Street bets, they inevitably draw attention to themselves, and that's what's going on. Enter the whales individual investors who can make a splash and impact the stock. Millionaires and billionaires that have a bone to pick with the hedge funds and short sellers. Whether you like these people or not, it's irrelevant. They're a part of the story regardless. Elon Musk hates short sellers because they try to cripple Tesla so often. With a single tweet, Elon sent the share price skyrocketing from 147.98 to 230. And along with Elon Musk, a huge member of wealthy whales have started to jump in buying huge amounts of stock. But these investors don't care. They don't care how expensive they buy the stock for because they know these hedge funds must buy the shares back. For many of them, they don't actually care if they lose money. They just want to watch these hedge funds burn. Check it out. It's got the Joker watching everything burn. It's about sending a message. So what happens next? No one actually knows. As time goes on and as hedge funds fight to buy back as many shares as possible, driving up the price more and more on each other, their bill will eventually be due and they will have to return the borrowed shares. Some hedge funds may go bankrupt, but it's not guaranteed. Does this mean you should buy GME? I'm not going to answer this question because you obviously shouldn't be listening to strangers on the internet when it comes to your money. There's a lot of upside buying GME, but there's also a crazy amount of downside. So tomorrow the share could go back to $4 and you could lose everything. These shares are obscenely overvalued, and the only reason they keep going up is that people are gambling that the hedge funds will buy them for a higher price. Likely they will, but up until what point? It's a game of chicken. When the game ends, the house of cards will crumble and people will lose millions, but until then, F the hedge funds. So basically, if you're like me and you're wondering, man, did I miss out on this? Like, am I too late? Can I still make some money? It's always a gamble with stock, the stocks, cryptocurrencies, all that stuff. It's always a gamble at the end of the day. But if you're like me and you're seeing all this going on and you're wondering, man, can an average Joe like me still get in on this action and make a little bit of money? Can I, flip my money a few times or what? Basically, you've seen what they're talking about. It's a game of chicken. There's a good chance you could still make money. But the point is if you are going to decide to buy to try to get on this, you don't want to wait any longer because all this has been going on and transpiring for quite some time. You know what I mean? But let's see. GME, GameStop, F the hedge funds, Robinhood traders with 600 stimmy checks. Here's a follow-up thread discussing the possible impacts of this Reddit versus hedge funds fight. But at this point, it's all just guesswork. But that's about Oh, what's this say? Update on this insanity. Brokers are allowing people to sell GME, but not allowing them to buy GME. This forces the price down and is literally market manipulation, which is illegal. We just watched history. Reddit was about to win against the hedge funds, so they changed the rules of the game. Brokers banned all buying of GME, but allowed all selling. Textbook market manipulation to drive the price down and save these hedge funds. So the rich assholes, I guess, get their way. But I don't know. I just thought that was interesting to share with you guys, man. Like, I'm not an expert on this. I always let you guys know if I'm speaking on something that I'm not an expert on. Like, let's talk. That's what Jay Coffee Talk's all about, is talking. So it looks like in the end, the hedge fund guys. Who knows though? If this is for real market manipulation like that, people could go down for all this. I see. We got a couple likes. Good looking out, guys. Um, Tap in. Drop a comment. Who's here? But someone said great. They have gone. Hold on one second, guys. All right, sorry guys, I'm back. Um, But yeah, oh look, this guy said great. They have gone bankrupt while the average Joes have become rich. That's a good thing. And then this person says no one has become rich in real life. To become rich, you would have to sell the stock to the hedge funds. You don't make any money at all until you sell. In the meantime, these average Joes are actually temporarily out of whatever money they spent on the shares. The hedge fund went also bankrupt because of its own mistake of over shorting GME. So I don't know, man. Hit the comments with your thoughts on this, guys. One more story I want to cover real quick before I get up out of here. Once again, anyone catching this on the playback, make sure to sub to the channel. Make sure to hit the bell. Daily content. But this is interesting about this GameStop stop thing. I want to know too. Anyone who bought some stock, leave your story in the comments how you made out. But one last thing I want to cover, guys. Let me pause this for 1 second. I want to pull up about this Deshaun Watson news. All right, we back, guys. So check it out, man. Deshaun Watson requesting a trade. It's kind of crazy, man. He made the Pro Bowl again this season. And real quick too, just in general with NFL, if you guys watch the channel, you already know Jay Coffee Talk is diehard Bills Mafia. I'm sick about that loss to the Chiefs. I ain't really gonna speak on it. You know what I mean? I made a video on it already. I haven't been doing that much NFL content. I tapped in yesterday to talk about Jason Witten and all that. But now I got to turn around and root for the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. I don't want to see Tommy get another ring. I know, call me a hater. But everyone who catches this, drop your predictions for the Super Bowl. Just interested to know what everyone thinks. But Deshaun Watson, they didn't make the playoffs this year. He made this Pro Bowl, though. He had a good season statistically and everything. But the year before he knocked my Bills out of the playoffs. Hell of a athlete, hell of a quarterback. And it's kind of crazy, man. Just 1 year from, getting somewhere in the playoffs. They don't make the playoffs this year, and he wants out of there. We've been hearing talk about this for a while. And a lot of talk about Miami, who had a hell of a season. You know what I mean? But let's be honest, Miami fans. I was covering a lot of Miami Dolphins news this year. Tua ain't it yet. I don't know, but anyways, it just says 25-year-old quarterback has officially requested a trade from the Texans 2 weeks ago. According to Adam Schefter, setting the table for a blockbuster move, experts are weighing in on Houston's options and potential destinations for the superstar. Deshaun Watson has officially requested a trade. I don't know, like, where do you guys think he's going to land? That's kind of wild to hear it was 2 weeks ago. What's Schefter saying? I always pay attention to Schefter. Deshaun Watson has officially requested a trade. Per league sources, he actually did it 2 weeks ago. Their new head coaching hire, David Culley, has not and will not alter Watson's thinking. So they got a new coach in there, and Watson doesn't want any part of it. How would the trade work if the Texans traded him? The two sides would agree to a deal that works for both, and Watson would provide written notice that he would allow a trade to that team. Otherwise, no deal. So I don't know, man. Dolphins fans, I know I had a lot of Dolphins fans that were watching a lot of my NFL videos and whatnot. Let me know what you guys think about Deshaun Watson, where you think he's going to land. Also, another big name, not in trade talk, but Matthew Stafford is hitting free agency. And I'm seeing reports of the Niners, and I just don't like. I don't know. They got Jimmy G, right? Like I don't know. Let's see what this guy with a no trade clause built into his current contract. It's likely Deshaun Watson has already submitted a list of teams that he would accept a trade to. This doesn't mean the Texans have to trade him. Rather, that the two sides will agree in terms of the destination. So I don't know, man. Who knows where he'll end up, but this was definitely newsworthy to me, man. This guy is a great quarterback. It's kind of crazy the way things fell apart in Houston. And then we're here at J.J. Watt might end up finishing his career out somewhere else. A lot going on already in the offseason type moves, and we haven't even played the Super Bowl yet. You know what I mean? But I just want to tap in here and see what people think in the replies real quick. Of landing spots, and then I'll close this live out. Uh, Examining realistic trade options. Once again, Dolphins, Jets. I don't know if anyone wants to go to the Jets, man. Jaguars and the Niners. So the Niners name coming up again. And that's another thing too. One second, let me take a sip of this tea here. Um, as my Bills really killed it this year, like I said, I've been kind of sick about it that we got eliminated. I haven't really wanted to talk about it or anything like that. But like I'm talking about the Jets here, how no one's really gonna want to go to the Jets, right? Buffalo used to have a bad stigma, you know what I mean, about our team, where it's hard to get people in free agency or in trade and things like that. But now, after the hell of a season we had, just came one game away from the Super Bowl, a lot of people are gonna want to come to Buffalo. So, I'm just really happy about that. Like this is just the beginning of this dynasty the Bills are building. Someone say could be one of the craziest off seasons in a while. I don't see anyone. I don't see any. Oh, the Bears should trade the house for him. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But let me close this thing out, man. He should go to the Niners. That Watson and George Kittle combo would be crazy. They could win the NFC with Watson. I'm just disgusted. Way to go, Kale. Goff for Watson. Who says no? Watson to Terry time. Steelers, they could make a play for him too. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But I just wanted to see what you guys all think about this. Look, everyone's doing jersey swaps in the replies here. But that's all I got, guys. Thanks for watching. Like I said, if you're catching this on the playback, if you're new, this is Jay Coffee Talk. We blog music, news, sports, current events, life, and much more. It's all about hearing what the people got to say. You've seen the message, as is the Jay Coffee Talk. We talk about that GameStop, GameStop stock. That's a tongue twister. And now Deshaun Watson on the trade block. I want to know your guys' thoughts on it all. I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching. I'm gone.